Guys, it is currently Friday night, about 11:30 p.m. Girls are finally laid down. I figure I'd come out and bust a couple hours out. I might be out here till like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, I don't know yet, but the plan was to swap out for the manual or brake pedal, but that involves taking like 5 screws out and heating up the lock for the brake booster that goes behind the brake pedal. So back here there's a rod, you see it, it goes through to the, you can't really tell, but it goes through to the brake pedal, and it's like a clip and you got to heat it up. It takes a while, but I seen that you can just take off the automatic pedal, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna end up going that route instead of having to take this whole assembly out and fight with it. But after that, then we're gonna do the wiring and the relay. I feel like that's not gonna take that long. I do got to run one wire from the plenum up here down into the relay or the clutch safety, but that ain't gonna be no big deal. Things might change when I get to that point. I don't know. It seems like everything's changing on this car. I plan on going one way and it goes a different way. I plan on taking one route and I go a different route. So that's kind of what's taking for so long on this car too, is I keep changing my mind on things as I go, because one way might be more difficult, one way might be more simpler. I don't know, but I'm picking away at this. I have like 2 more days until I go back to work, so I'm just trying to knock out as much as I can without being out here the entire night. It is currently Saturday night, 1 a.m. I've been out here since 10 a.m. and I've been busting my ass. Tonight we got a lot done and I actually feel very accomplished. If I can get this engine in by the time I go to bed, I'll just be very, very happy and content. So right now, this car is a manual. It is officially a manual. We have our manual gearbox, manual shifter, and our manual pedal in. Everything is connected. We have all the wiring done. Our clutch safety has our cruise control and clutch safety, or whatever. I'm not 100% unsure on which one does which and whatnot, but we do have our 53 relay in. I'm gonna throw in a diagram, the one that I've been basing off of. This guy on YouTube, he's a VW tech, and he's done tons of swaps, I guess, so he's very familiar. And I've been following this video. I'll put the link in my description to the guy's YouTube video. But I've been basing all my wiring off of his stuff. The only thing we changed was the harness and the bay, but we'll get to that later. Shit. Oh, I just looked at the time. It is 4 a.m. I kind of been in the zone, and this car is like 90% together. I'm about to turn the camera around and show you guys where we stand. There's a couple little things I need to go over and fix before it's complete, but as of right now, what is up, you guys? It is a weekday. I'm about to go to work in like 2 hours. It was sunny and nice out. Now it's like 3:30 out. It's getting a little darker, but it's somewhat decent out. As you see, I'm in a hoodie, so it's not horrible. It's like 30 something degrees. But we've been charging my GTI battery for the last couple of days. I trickle charged it, and I think it's ready to go. So we are going to be starting this old girl today. It's been a while, so I figured I'd just let it run, maybe even get up the temp. I don't know, it's just been a while. And then also, as you guys are probably sick of hearing me, The Jetta is just about ready to start almost. Besides the oil change and the front end to put the radiator on, we have all the pedals in, as I mentioned before. Third pedal in, all wiring is done. As I mentioned before, the only thing we are missing is a VSS plug for the trans, but I think it will run without it. I talked to Brian from One Love, and he said that he's got a 20th coming in, and he can give me the harness off of that. Because as of right now, we're using the auto harness, because the harness that came off my parts car, someone ganked the coil pack part, and the coil pack section of it right here, this section right here, goes down along the head and back where the trans. Well, the VSS plug ventures off of that coil pack section, so this one don't have it, but everything else is all wired. Yeah, let's see if this GTI will start, and then I might get started on putting the radiator and stuff back together so I can get this front end on. I would like to see this car complete again, so we just got to put the front end on with the radiator, AC condenser, fans, and then the bumper and all that, and then that way we can pop in our subframe. Everything's all new. Brand new control arms. Tie rods are in good shape. Hopefully the bearings are okay. I don't know, it's coming off my parts car. Everything's coming off my parts car, so everything seems pretty solid though. Whole front end should be pretty solid, but yeah, I say we get this GTI started. I should put my jumper pack on it just because. Sounds really good. It's starting to idle down. All right, so it is getting a little cold now, but I still got a little bit of time before work. We got the GTI all warmed up. Sounds good, sounds healthy. The only thing is we got tons of vibrations, but that's all because it's got solid mounts everywhere. So exhaust rattles, my grill rattles, everything rattles because the car is super solid. We got solid bushings around the whole car. But anyways, some light work. I got this newer cabin air filter. I mean, it's not like 100%. I mean, it is pretty clean, but this thing's looking pretty gross. I already had this out prior, but we're gonna do some comparing. So this is why we always change our cabin air filter. This is what you're breathing in. Look at this. Gross. And who knows how many miles were on this car. So it's literally caked up with dirt, a bunch of stuff, dust and whatnot. So we are changing it for this. Remember, never skip out on your cabin air filter. This thing literally costs like 10 bucks, 5 bucks. I don't know. It's very cheap. I think last time I bought one for my car, it was like 10 bucks. So something that takes you 2 minutes to do and maybe 10 bucks of your money. I got like 30 minutes before I gotta get ready for work, so I'm gonna wrap it up for today. I think I made a pretty good progress. We've had front end on, AC is almost connected. We have one more AC, radiators connected. Everything is pretty much connected, so we're getting there. We're literally on the verge of starting this thing up. The only thing I gotta buy really is a vacuum hose for the intake, for the brake booster, and an oil change, so I gotta buy that. And then hook up the exhaust, the subframe. Oh, also I have to get a PCV. I'm sure you can see under there. So that thing right there connects to this S pipe right here that goes up. And that connects to the intake, so it goes from the PCV and the crankcase. Well, I'm missing that little piece that connects them two together. So I could just get maybe a vacuum hose or something, but I do need a new one of these anyways because it's like loose. So I'm just gonna get it off eBay. One of them crankcase breather hose vents. But yeah, we're almost there. The list is getting smaller. It seems like I'm not getting anywhere, but as I keep checking things off my list, I mean, it's like, okay, dang, we're getting there. And now actually looking at it with the front end on, it's like, oh shit, like we're almost there. Like I said, the only thing I'm really waiting on is the VSS. Once I have this VSS harness and it plugs in and plugs and play, I got a good feeling. That this thing is just gonna start and run. I mean, underneath the dash, all that was simple. Wiring in that one pin that drops down to the clutch safety switch, that was very simple. Everything in the dash was actually the most simple part. The biggest hassle was this. What is up, you guys? It is another new day. Currently Friday. The girls actually just got picked up, so that gives me a little bit of freedom. I got a little list made of some last minute stuff that we need for the GLI. First things first, I just got in contact with Brian from One Love, and he's supplying our new wiring harness. So as you guys know, the harness we have right now does not have a VSS plug on it. And I really don't want to hardwire anything. I'd rather have it like look from the factory and be from the factory. So yeah, he is hooking us up with the VSS engine harness. And right now, we're on our way to the dispo. Just kidding. We're on our way to AutoZone or O'Reilly's to pick up some vacuum line, and also I need a brake booster line, and I think I'm off to Walmart to get us an oil change, some distilled water, and brake fluid so we can bleed our clutch. Yeah, we're on the road towards the end. Kind of upset that I put the front end all together without the wiring harness. I didn't know I was gonna be able to be supplied another wiring harness. That's why I kind of just put everything together. But now that the bay is so empty and so clean of everything, it should be no issues. Unplugging everything shouldn't be no problem. But yep, gonna get some last minute supplies for this car. Use the last bit of money I have. Literally spending every last little dime I have in my checking account just for a car that's not even running yet. A car that's not even registered to my name. A car that I don't even know is going to run and move. I'm an idiot. But, yep, let's go get the supplies. All right, we just left AutoZone, and what a ripoff. So this car is costing me more and more money. It was supposed to be $1,000 freaking daily, and now it's like Keeps going up. Like just within this right here, you're looking at over $50. So we have a bunch of vacuum line, some heater hose, but we're using that for the brake booster, coolant, oil, brake fluid. This shit's adding up faster and faster. And parts wise, I'm doing good. All parts have been pretty much supplied by my parts car. And yeah, whatever, I mean, laying around parts and the bones of parts on this car were decent. So it's like, parts wise, it's not really costing me. It's all this miscellaneous shit, like hoses and fluids and oh, I had to go buy a tool for this. And oh, so we're still gonna do a price breakdown on this car though, and I'm still thinking that we'll be less than $1,500 in. I'm literally gonna tally up everything. Seriously, y'all just take your sweet ass time. Oh wait, there's more. There's freaking more. Look at this shit. So I've been kind of picking away at this, and we have our intake going to our brake booster down here. We have it wrapped. It just loops down and through here. Right now we are fishing our boost. So we have our boost gauge up here. I got it running down through the dash right here. And then it's gonna go down here, and then right now I got a coat hanger, and then the vacuum line is around the coat hanger. And so right now we're about to fish this coat hanger through. Let's see if we can get to it. Got the line finally up. Look at that. Perfect. So that's a good technique for you guys. For everybody that's trying to hook up a boost gauge, literally push the vacuum line, I ain't gonna focus, but the vacuum line over the coat hanger and then fish it through the firewall. When I first got this car, they had the boost hose or boost line running through here somehow. It was like running through the fender, and it was just so ghetto. But yeah, after this, I'm about to hook up the downpipe, and then I think it's time to fill up with fluids. So I'm just sitting here admiring that this thing is a manual now. Literally just sitting here. They feel so good. There's like no play in the shifter. All the gears are very solid, very little play. So it's almost like the bushings were done in this, but it feels so good. Oh, I can't wait. It'll only be a stage 2, and yeah, it'll only be a stage 2, but it'll be fun for a daily. Everything's gonna be new. Everything's gonna feel so good. Whole new front end. I'm gonna feel good about everything, honestly. So, man, we're almost there. I got all the plumbing literally done. I know I keep repeating myself, but every time I finish something, it's like, man, I'm one step closer, one step closer. And to think that I was about to give up on this thing, I'm glad that I kept pushing along and just was like, you know what, I got this. So yeah, all we got left is hook up a downpipe, bolt up the subframe, and then we start bleeding coolant, power steering, brake fluid, the clutch, all that good stuff. We firstly got intercooler piping all hooked up. Got our downpipe hooked up. We have our exhaust all the way hooked up. O2 sensor wires all tucked away. All we got left to do is put this subframe up, hook up the axles, power steering. It's officially time for fluids. Unfortunately, I got 20 minutes before I go to work. So that's gonna be a wrap for today. But it is Friday night, and I have a 3-day weekend this weekend, so we might be starting this thing up this weekend. The only thing we're waiting on is our PCV valve and our new harness, but I feel like the car's going to start and run without the speed sensor. And the crank vent, the PCV and crank vent, that's fine. It might blow a little smoke outside in the bay, but it ain't going to stop it from starting. So yeah, we might just be starting this thing up this weekend. I'm pretty hyped up. But I've been knocking stuff out. Like I said, all we gotta do is subframe, axles, and we're there.